I'd love to talk about Bitcoin and your view of crypto assets, and then maybe back into kind of tying things up with convergences among technologies. You mentioned that a little earlier, Elon, and the impact ultimately of all of this on economic growth longer term, the surprises that might come from there. But first Bitcoin.
Cathie Wood, the CEO and founder, recently conducted a Twitter interview with Elon Musk, delving into various topics. During the conversation, Cathie posed questions about Elon's perspectives on the future of artificial intelligence in 2024 and sought his latest insights on Bitcoin. Elon, following Michael Saylor's lead in 2021, purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin through Tesla. However, in 2022, Tesla sold 75% of its Bitcoin holdings at a loss. Currently, they retain just under 10,000 Bitcoin valued at approximately $425 million. Interestingly, had they held on to their entire Bitcoin stash, they would now be in a profitable position. Since the sale, Elon Musk had been relatively quiet about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. In this interview, he shares his thoughts on these topics. Towards the end of the video, Elon also discusses his plans to transform Twitter into a financial payments app, hinting at the integration of his favorite cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, into the platform. Stay tuned for these insights and more.
When we first, when you put it, or Tesla put it on its balance sheet, there was, I remember afterwards, there was this backlash in terms of its economic impact, all of the energy usage and so forth. And then as part of the seminar that we did, that you participated in, Elon, we and Block had come up with this notion that, wait, you put Bitcoin mining into a utility ecosystem, so that, if there's a storage unit and, the intermittent energy, the storage unit's full, the sun is still shining, the excess power goes over to Bitcoin, and you can mint Bitcoin and overbuild solar and wind and renewables and all of that. So that argument against Bitcoin, and Larry Fink himself used it quite vociferously for a long time until recently. That is going away. What do you think about Bitcoin's potential impact on the financial system, the monetary system, financial services generally?
Well, I have to say I don't spend a lot of time thinking about cryptocurrency, hardly any at all. I have thought for a long time about money and the nature of money. What is money?
Yes.
And it's really a database for resource allocation is the way to think about money, in my view. Now, fiat currency is actually fine as a database for resource allocation if you have a predictable money supply and it doesn't doesn't get inflated or deflated too much.
If it's rules-based.
If it's rules-based, and provided government does not too much abuse the privilege to create more money. Some amount of abuse is almost guaranteed to happen, but it can go too far. The temptation over the ages to debase money is, I think it goes back to probably the ancient Sumerians. But as soon as at the point at which money was invented in any form, including in gold, there was the unavoidable temptation to debase the money supply. So when you think of any given money system, I sort of apply information theory to a money problem. Just think of it like it's an information system. You want to minimize noise, minimize latency, minimize packet loss, and so any inflation would be adding noise to the system. If the transaction rate, if what it takes to conclude a transaction is a long time, that adds latency to the system. Fraud is kind of like packet loss. So I guess I kind of think of money like I think of information moving on a network. Bandwidth, latency, jitter, which is the variance in latency, packet loss, those fundamental elements.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch how human beings, in this case the Fed, the words they say whip around markets, and there's just something not right about that. I mean, that's my point of view. I think our point of view, certainly on the crypto team, and Art Laffer, who was my professor in school, he's supply side, Austrian School of Economics. When he collaborated on our first Bitcoin paper in 2015, and after he got through reading it, he said, I've been waiting for this since they closed the gold window in 1971. I've been waiting for a new rules-based global monetary system.
Yeah.
And I think that's where our optimism comes from. This is truly rules-based. And so he's gotten more and more excited about it the more he's learned about it. So, anyway, back to convergence, though, and you're the maestro here. When I think of when we think of autonomous taxi platforms, robotaxi networks, and so forth, that's the convergence of three of the major platforms around which we have centered our research: robotics, energy storage, and artificial intelligence. Each one of those technologies, basically gearing up for or in the sweet spot of the S curve. And I sort of think of S curves feeding S curves and creating the potential for explosive growth that no one is expecting. And Brett has just written a paper, it should come out in the next few weeks, around this topic. Just want to get your thoughts about that. And Brett, if you wanted to ask any questions specifically about that. But the bottom line from an economics point of view is we could see very surprising uptick, not just uptick, a step function up in a real economic growth if these technologies are as big as we think they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the real economy is not money; it's goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I was saying earlier, money is really just a database for resource allocation,
Mm-hmm.
and but if there are no resources to allocate, or if the actual goods and services output is fixed, then you can, I guess, try to allocate that same pie, but more efficiently. But it's really not nearly as good as growing the pie.
Mm-hmm.
So growing the output of goods and services, productivity is really the thing that leads to prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, with robotics and AI, I think digital medicine through synthetic RNA, I think these things will just massively improve productivity. If you take the car as an example, and I think you understand this quite well, although not many people do, that if you've got, say, a passenger car, it will typically see 10 to 12 hours of usage, like maybe 1.5 hours a day over the course of 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 168 hours in a week, so it's really used for a very small percentage of the week normally. And then you've got to park it somewhere as well. So you've got parking costs, storage costs, maintenance costs, and all these costs associated with the car. And you're at 5 to 10% of asset utilization for a car.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas if you've got an autonomous vehicle, that same car, that costs basically about the same, could now, I think, be used as a rough approximation for about a third of the hours of the week, if you say like productive hours. Mm-hmm. And this is just, I think that's a conservative, but I think it's not far wrong. So if you say like it goes from say 10 hours a week to 50 hours a week out of 168 of useful hours, that I think is not, it's not going to be exactly right, but I don't think it's far wrong. You now have the same asset being able to having 5 times the utility. So that is such a staggering leap of productivity. And if Tesla's able to do as I think we will be able to do, which is to upgrade the fleet, so to make it autonomous, it will be the biggest step change in asset value in history. I think overnight.
We agree. We agree.
Right.
Can we stay on the X platform as a topic, Elon, but maybe take us a little bit more into the future about this super app opportunity? Will you become a financial platform? Identification is, and we're already seeing, you're still tipping, I think, on X, but are you going to turn into a financial platform, which is where you started your entrepreneurial journey many years ago? Is this still on the drawing board?
Yeah, absolutely. We're just waiting for the final approvals to come through for the money transmitter licenses. It's just taken longer than expected to get the money transmitter licenses.
Yes.
So
I did see you have 15 or so now, or is it more?
I think we actually have a majority of the states have approved us, but it's irrelevant until California and New York approve us. I
see. And are there any showstoppers, or it's just bureaucracy?
It's just, really just, I guess, bureaucracy. Things were obviously quite chaotic, especially for the first few months. So it's not entirely their fault. We were a bit late in submitting our money transmitter licenses, and I essentially thought we had done it, but we had not done it until around the middle of this year. So I think we'll probably get our approvals early next year, and so I would expect payments to roll out. I would be surprised if if it takes us longer than the middle of next year to roll out payments. So I'm not aware of any showstoppers. Just kind of working through the system.
Concluding our deep dive into Elon Musk's recent revelations during his interview with Cathie Wood, we've covered a range of compelling topics. From exploring the potential developments in 2024 to navigating the ever-changing landscape of artificial intelligence, our journey extended to the intriguing dynamics of Bitcoin and Tesla's strategic decisions. The insights gained shed light on Musk's evolving views on cryptocurrency, notably Bitcoin, in the aftermath of Tesla's significant investment and subsequent partial sell-off. The prospect of incorporating Dogecoin into Twitter's potential transformation into a financial payments app adds an additional layer of intrigue to Musk's overarching plan. This potential move not only underscores Musk's forward-thinking approach but also hints at the growing influence of cryptocurrencies in shaping the future of financial technology. As we wrap up this insightful exploration, it becomes evident that Musk's vision extends beyond individual companies, encompassing a broader landscape of technological and financial innovation. In this comprehensive overview, Musk's journey from initial investments to nuanced considerations of cryptocurrency nuances unfolds. The intersections of Tesla, Bitcoin, and Musk's plans for Twitter illustrate a dynamic narrative within the ever-evolving realms of technology and finance. The groundwork laid by Musk's strategic moves will undoubtedly continue to shape conversations and developments in these domains. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.